go. Hello, welcome, Divine Light Activators. I have renamed you all because I know your energy is just expanding and going in many different directions. And I'm so excited to welcome you all to season 2 of Own Your Divine Light show. The last season we had such a great response, and we're giving back, and I am welcoming the return of one of my most generous and giving soul expanders, Allie Shea. And Allie Shea is an international law of attraction practitioner and a writer. She's a healer, a coach, and an inspirational speaker. And Allie has helped thousands of people worldwide and continues to help people to understand their ability to create their own reality and to manifest the wonderful things into their life. Allie has limitless energy and passion for her calling and gives many teachings and meditations and just so much information to her people. And I am so grateful to Allie. She has workshops. She just had a retreat. Allie's mission is to inspire you to become the best version of you and to understand with complete knowing that you can be or do anything and have anything you desire. And it's Allie's dream, as she says, and her wish to raise the vibration of the planet, and we're so in sync on that, one soul at a time. So welcome, Allie. So excited to have you here, and you have had an amazing year so far. Oh my goodness, you've done so many things.
Thank you so much.
You've just put on a YouTube show, a new show for you, and your energy and enthusiasm is boundless, as I say, and you have, I get to have you on my season 2 as my premiere. I love it. You're my start. So you're going to be my start. Yay. And you have your new show, Expansive Souls and Inspiration. So how did you decide to do that?
Oh, my podcast. Yeah. Actually, it came about by accident. My husband had been asking me a few months ago, Paul, would I do a podcast? And I said, I don't have time for that. And then I have a private group, and I was kind of looking to interview somebody to bring inspiration to my private group, to my tribe members, and put up a random post about, would you like to do an interview for my private group? And the response I got was just like a snowball effect. I think I must have got about 80 answers of people going, me, I'll do it. And so that's kind of how it turned into a podcast, because I have so many amazing and inspirational people on my own personal Facebook page. So that's how Soul Expansion and Inspiration came about.
It's really fun. And I was blessed and asked to be on the show. So I'm on season 2, Janet Miller, as you know. And if you ever want to look up these Expansive Souls and Inspiration, watch Allie's show, and you'll see me in there too.
Yay.
And, it was my second real interview, like a podcast like that. I had a radio interview before you with one of the other speakers I had last, but you were my real first podcast. I was like, oh my goodness. So, I feel blessed and honored, and thank you so much for that.
And likewise, thank you. And thank you for a wonderful interview.
Thank you. I was like, okay, I know where I was going in some of that. And I said, well, I'm going to be careful how far I go, because I know me, I can go off in different things, and I didn't go as deep as I would maybe next time, if it comes up next. So what propels you now in your career to create so much? Because you are a huge creator.
I guess it's really following the law of attraction in itself, because another word for the law of attraction is momentum. And so to keep yourself out there and out there and out there, you've got to keep intending, and you've got to keep creating. Otherwise you get lost amongst the crowd.
Oh, that's such a beautiful thought. Oh my goodness. Law of attraction says that. And that makes so much sense, because I've heard that, once you're in the momentum, don't lose it. Keep it going, keep stick, because that just keeps, like you say, it's like the snowball effect. You just people keep hearing about you. Your world is changing. You keep growing, and people are growing with you. And oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So my other question, so what does success mean to you, Allie? How does this feel? Because you are getting so successful.
It's just so lovely to help so many people, and know that, that you're able to sort of reach people around the world. And, I get messages from all over the world saying, you've brightened my day, you've changed my life, even, all those kinds of messages. And to me, that's really what success is. Once you've been able to change somebody's life from, rock bottom to a completely different life where they're much happier people and more positive and, you know, understanding that they are source energy, all those different types of things. Well, then I feel that, you know, that's what success is.
Mm. Oh yeah, that's my feeling too. I love that because for me, being on this show and showing people, new people, that they can get help through or learn new ideas just by listening to the show.
Yeah.
And they have the gifts that come with the show from all of you, that it's just so much. I've had so many wonderful emails from so many of the listeners that I have to say, just people are just, you know, loving what they're hearing. They love the information. I mean, so many of them had never, you know, not all of them, but I mean, people are just learning all the time, and they're ready, and they're telling their friends, and it's, you know, it's that, you know,
Yeah.
ripple pond thing. It's just moving out. So
Beautiful.
I know you have an amazing story, and, you know, I don't think last time we talked that you really got into your story too much, and you don't have to go as, you know, super far. It's up to you, because, but I know it's gotten you on your path. And how did it do that to you?
Yeah, so my story probably begins in childhood, actually, because you know, as you can see, I've got red hair, and as a child, I was like the original Annie. As I say, I actually just put up a picture on my Facebook page of me as a child and said, you know, I'm the original Annie. But you know, I was really badly bullied for that in school. I mean, I had fresh, you know, freckles and the red hair. It was short, red, curly hair. And I was really bullied all the way through school, from primary school up to secondary school. On top of that, I was a very sick child. So you know, I suffered really badly with migraines and vomiting every day or every second day. I was allergic to chocolate and didn't know, and cheese. So that went on for years and years, which didn't help.
No.
Yeah. So, and my mother, of course, she owned her own business, and my father owned his own business. So they didn't really have, well, my mother certainly didn't have the patience for a sick child. So we kind of clashed heads. So, you know, I was always really kind of depressed as a child, I feel. Looking back, you know, I can remember times in the car when my mother said things to me like, what's wrong with you? And things like that. So, you know, I can remember kind of looking back and seeing that. But later on in life, I really suffered badly with depression and anxiety and mood swings. And myself and my now husband, we've been together 29 years, had a huge breakup when I was in my early 20s, and that kind of triggered feelings of suicidal thoughts and all of that kind of thing. And I did indeed try to commit suicide about 3 times.
Wow.
In my early 20s. So I ended up on suicide watch for a month in my early 20s. I was on medication for many years, in and out of psychiatrists and psychologists and doctors for a long time. So, you know, it had always been there in the background, and then it would get triggered by something else that would make it into this huge deal where I almost ended up, you know, killing myself, basically.
Wow.
But anyway, as time went on and on and on, to cut a long story short, myself and Paul owned some shops here in Ireland, which we had set up after a really awful time where we had no money. We didn't even have €1 to give our children to bring into school for some charity at one stage. We were really struggling because Paul had lost some jobs and been made redundant. So we set up a shop, and further down the road with that shop, 7 years down, we had a large space that we didn't know what we were going to do with, because it had been a cafe that didn't work out. And we put crystals and angels in there. And, you know, I was always into crystals and angels and things like that. Paul's mother had taken me to what's called the Mind, Body, Spirit show here in Ireland over 20 years ago. And, you know, it would have mediums and psychics and tarot and, you know, all health kind of stuff. And the incense would be burning and, you know, all that kind of thing, and mindfulness. So I was always really interested in that. And as we got the stuff into the shop, I became even more and more interested. But some years prior to that, I had obviously read The Secret. So when The Secret book came out, which I think it was 2006, if I'm correct.
I do remember it being very early in the 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah, and I used that book, I used the power of visualization. I used to bring it into the shop and I used to visualize the customers coming into the shop when we opened it first and things like that. And it started to work. So, about, I suppose about 4 or 5 years ago, I had spine surgery and I couldn't go back to work. So I didn't. And I started, doing a lot of self-development, taking a lot of courses, investing in myself, and really learning a lot about the law of attraction and all that kind of thing, and positivity.
Mm.
So and then I became a certified law of attraction practitioner. I took the basic course, then I took the advanced course, but I didn't stop there. I just kept going and going, and like even still to this day, I mean, I bought a course, 2 courses last week. I'm always investing in myself to expand and grow. So what happened then was that I went to see Abraham Hicks in 2017 after manifesting it off my vision boards within a week.
Wow.
And in the January of 2018, I went live for 31 days.
That was on your own, right? You did that by yourself.
Yeah, that was on my own. Yeah.
You
yeah.
are
Your screen keeps freezing, so I'm not sure if you can hear me or
Oh,
not.
I'm sorry. No, it's me. I'm still here.
So I did that, and it kind of, things just catapulted. But before that, I got published about 13 times by Rumi Quotes, and so people started to recognize me and my writings, which were on the law of attraction and stuff like that. So it just grew bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. That's really the story behind it all. And I basically took myself out of depression and those suicidal thoughts and those many years of medication and all of that, using both the law of attraction and positivity.
Wow. See how powerful you are? I mean, we all are as creators, but you really, I mean, you've proven it because you've done it. I mean, you're the living proof of what you did for yourself. And how did you get into the Rumi Quotes? Like, how did you, like, you were you writing on Facebook? Did you have a Facebook page or something? What did you have?
No, it was like, I always love to call this my inspired action story when I'm explaining to people about inspired action, because I came back from the United States, and after being on such a high, I was kind of down here on a low going, oh, I've met all my friends, I've been to Abraham, I'm back home.
What's next? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was, I had an Instagram account, but I'd never really posted on it before. Mm-hmm. So I feel I got inspired action to post my American photos on Instagram, because the guy from Rumi Quotes just contacted me and said, would you write a blog for us? I love your energy. So that's kind of how that happened.
Oh my goodness. Talk about a law of attraction. Look what happened. You just attracted it to you. I mean, that's an amazing story. That's beautiful. And, you had so many things to do. Look at what you're doing for humanity and the planet. That's why none of those other things that you were trying to do in the way back worked, because you weren't meant to go anywhere. You're meant to be here now and doing what you're doing, because you've impacted so many other people with the things you've created, and even other, you put in your Conscious Creators group. That was this year where you had the 31 days of people giving every week free information of how to, change your life, expand your mind, change, just constantly improve yourself. And now you're doing the podcast, Expansive Souls and Inspiration, which is another way of doing it, only even bigger, because now you're on YouTube. And I mean, you were on both, I guess. Weren't you on both for that? I think you did. Eventually you were on YouTube for that too.
Yeah, well, I already had a YouTube channel, but yeah, it's going out across all the podcast platforms.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yeah, I have finished series 2 because I interviewed 30 people in 6 weeks. So
I know, you're like, oh my goodness. I interviewed 30, but it wasn't in 6 weeks. I did have a slight interruption there. I was doing a course that took me 4 months, and it totally took me out of the picture. So I got it done, but it was, I mean, I loved it. It was wonderful doing this work. I mean, talking to people like you, meeting people like you. I would have never met you if I wasn't doing this, and look at how many people you've met doing it. It is that momentum you're talking about that just brings it to us. And as long as we take it and use it to benefit everyone, besides, we all benefit. It's like just that beautiful attraction, like you're saying, the law of attraction and the momentum of it.
Yeah, so, the people are beautiful for sure.
Yeah. So tell us, how do you interpret the law of attraction? Because I never really heard your, like, I know you're telling me ways of how you're doing it now and how you brought it into your life, but when you are working with people, I know there's a certain way. Everyone has a different way of looking at law of attraction. So I know there's certain ways you're supposed to look at it, but you're an individual, so everyone has their own interpretation. So I'd love to hear, how does that work for you?
Sure. Well, so it's one of the most talked about, laws of the universe, because
It
there's
is.
many laws in the universe. um,
True.
and no matter whether people believe in it or not, it doesn't really matter. It's working there in the background, whether they believe in it or not. So I believe that we create our own reality with our thoughts, but not just our thoughts, with our emotions. So the emotions that we put behind our thought is what we're sending out a frequency out into the world, because of course we're all energy and everything in the universe is energy. So what we're putting out into the world through our thoughts that have been, encased with emotion is what we're attracting back into our lives. I feel that a lot of people don't understand how they're creating their reality with regards to, there's so much to it, with the subconscious mind, where it runs 95% of our life. And it's not that we're even conscious of those subconscious thoughts,
Mm.
and that's why it's so important that what we read, what we watch on the TV, who we hang out with, our conversations, our social media feed, all of that is so important, because those tapes play in your head whether you realize it or not, and they're attracting to you the things that come into your reality. There's quite a controversial sentence in, I follow Abraham Hicks, as I'm sure you know of Abraham Hicks.
Yeah.
And it talks about, in their teachings of Abraham Hicks in a nutshell, how they say, you are the one that brought the gun that shot you in the head.
Ooh, yeah.
So that's quite controversial to a lot of people, because people are really happy, to admit that they're creating their reality when the things are good for them, but they're not so good at admitting that they're creating their own reality when things are going bad for them.
I agree, because that's all about responsibility. I mean, this is what we're all learning, is to be responsible in our life. And this is what you mean by responsibility. It's that simple. And
Yeah.
it's that profound, that when you are conscious of what you're thinking and what you're saying to people, what you're looking at on TV, what you're reading, even the news. I mean,
Oh yeah, cut that out. Cut that
I
out.
listen to it. I don't listen to it. My husband will sometimes turn on, like, no, I can't do this. And so I'll either leave the room so he can watch it, or it'll be the very end. And they may have a couple of good stories. Like sometimes at the very end of the news now, they have like happy stories. It's almost like you stayed here just to hear the happy at the end, because all the bad has already come out. So now now we'll give you some happy, which is a start, I guess, in the right direction. Maybe it'll expand into those good stories. And I think if we keep going there with our thinking and our energy to have them do that, maybe it will expand into all good news instead of then bad news, which is so small in comparison to the good news really going on in the planet. I mean, people love each other in so many ways, and they're so kind to each other in so many ways that it's never shown.
Yeah.
And, I think you can see things on YouTube sometimes. You can see it on, wherever you're looking. If you're really looking for it, you get it, and
Yeah.
and it comes to you.
Yeah. Like you said, Abraham talks about how, if, you were to broadcast on the news all the good things that happened in the world, like what you were just saying, the negative stuff would just be like a blip across the screen and you wouldn't even see it.
Because they would all be in joy. I mean, look at the change that would do to humanity to have that good energy coming across a TV screen, because there's so much impact that the TV screens have to bring that in. And I hope that this is going to change, because I think if, as we are talking about it, we're putting it out to the universe, we're putting it in the consciousness of people. And, mass consciousness is a huge impact on our subconscious and things changing. And it
Yes,
can
exactly.
cause that change.
Yeah.
And even wanting peace on the earth. I mean, you can slowly see wars are dissipating more and more, because people don't want to be part of it. They don't want to,
Yeah.
nobody wants to be in that, if you can, really. And so we're finding reasons to just not, you know, and I totally applaud everyone who's in the services, and I am grateful to them for all that they've done. And I know that there's reasons, but you know, if we can get to the world, you know, the centuries, 1,000 years of peace we're supposed to get, which is coming, and it's coming, that
That'd be nice.
oh yeah, it's all coming. And you know, you're going to see war just sort of dropping off the map of you know, people's conversation. But you know, I don't want to get off your law of attraction information. So you know, you talk about manifesting too. When what does manifesting mean to you when you apply it to your law of attraction teachings? Because I know that's sort of like a fine line there when you look at those two.
So we're all manifesting in every moment. Like we've all manifested everything in our lives up until this point.
Mm-hmm.
So when people like to talk about manifesting, they like to talk about manifesting something great, like a new car, or, you know, a move to a different country, or a lover, or a house, or a holiday. But like we're manifesting everything. I mean, you manifested the outfit you're wearing, you manifested the glasses you're wearing, you know. And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize. And, you know, manifesting is really easy when you know how to do it. Like I'm called the manifesting queen. And, you know, if only people could be, you know, like play it like a game, you know, like ask for something, then it's always given, as Abraham says. But, you know, let it go, release the resistance and let it go. So quite often I'll play a game on my Facebook pages or groups, you know, it's called the manifesting game, where you look for something within 24 hours, like a zebra, a unicorn. You might receive a check or receive a phone call from an old friend, or you might see a feather. And, you know, because, and I get people to write down what it is that they've chosen, and not to post pictures, because otherwise it ruins it for everybody else playing the game. But let us know how you got on within the 24 hours. And more oftentimes than not, people will often, you know, manifest it within that 24 hours. And the reason is because it's fun. It's a game. And, you know, once we ask for something, we've put it into our, you know, reticular activating system. We've asked for it, we've let it go, and bam, then it manifests. But if we could be like that with everything else in our lives, for the things that we want, well, then manifesting would become so much easier for everybody.
Yeah, I know that's a beautiful thing, because I think the more you believe it, the more it happens, because
Exactly.
it's a belief system that creates our reality.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone is an individual universe that we all intersect, because you're living in your bubble of reality, every one of us. And so I know right now that instant manifestation, it's like, really be careful what you say you want in your life, because it's showing up very quickly now, because time is compressing. I mean, time is starting to disappear. If you notice, they're saying that time is starting to disappear because we're moving up in our consciousness, and it's not important anymore, because we're living in the now. The more you live in the now, the less you need time.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter. But I'm digressing a little here, but the manifestation is very quick. So, you know, I hear people say something around me. I'm like, all right, is that what you really want? Think about it. You know, I have to think of my own self. I mean, even my own self, I have to be careful of what I'm manifesting, because I know it's coming up quicker and quicker all the time.
The thing is, though, divine timing will always come into play as well, because, you know, sometimes our ego thinks we're ready for things that we're not ready for as well. Yeah. So the universe will always watch that as well, and that plays a part too.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's really true. I agree with that, because yes, I will say, if I'm ready, if this is for my highest and best good.
Yeah, perfect.
And then you know that it'll come with the right moment.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's so true. That's a really good point. So, and you're such a co-creator and a community builder in all your communities you have online, and many programs that you have and you support. So now you have the Soul Expansion Academy. And so what is your main focus on creating this academy?
So this was, you know, it was a sort of a cheaper option than people buying just individual workshops on my on my website. So they can join for a subscription fee, either per month or per year. And it works out cheaper for them. Like at the moment, I think I have, so I started that academy in March, and I think I've got 7 or 8 programs in there right now. I've just released a new one in there on Monday, actually. So I've got things like scripting, visioneering. The one I released on Monday was about the chakras. I've got a sleep program in there. I've got a forgiveness program. I've got how to write a contract with the universe. So it's really to help people to learn, to expand and to grow in a different way to my vibe tribe. I've got a private group, which is subscription based, where I go live once a week exclusively teaching law of attraction like I do on my Facebook page. So it's different in that regard. The Academy is more where I'm putting programs inside. They're video programs that I've written and then I've recorded and put them all together and released them into the Academy. And then I do have a Facebook group attached to the Academy where I go live once a month or every 6 weeks to just explain the programs further to the people in the Academy and to answer any questions that they have on the programs that I've released.
That's right. That's wonderful. Those are great. Those are great topics because, and you make it easy. It's easy access there. I love that.
Yeah.
You can really do that. So what other visions do you have for your tribe, as you call them, and your workshops? Where do you want to go with all this? What's the next steps for you?
So, well, I really love my vibe tribe to get bigger. I mean, at the moment, there's about 39 people in there, and they're a beautiful group of people. That group has been going for a year and a half now, over a year and a half now. But it'd be lovely to see some fresh new faces in there as well. And then, because it's all about the co-creation, of course, and we want new people so that everybody else can start to learn more and start to awaken more and all of that kind of thing. And basically the same thing for the Academy. You know, I want to grow it bigger. I want more people to come on board so that they're learning and expanding and growing, and you know, that then they can shine their light and their knowledge out into the world as well, and it kind of causes a ripple effect.
Mm-hmm. And so with all these people you've been working with, what kind of changes have you seen with them when you're doing this work? Have you seen like a total, like what are they telling you? How are they feeling?
Yeah, so many people are just like, you know, it's amazing, like the transformation in their lives. They just seem to be in themselves happier people, and understanding more about the world enables them to do that, and the way that the world actually works, as opposed to, you know, people who maybe don't understand about law of attraction or positivity, you know, could be meandering through life just, you know, like I was before I learned about all of it, you know, not knowing that, you know, we shouldn't be watching this or we shouldn't be reading that, or, you know, every time that we go through something that is not so nice for us, that, you know, and then we go to have something nice that happens to us, it's the contrast, and, you know, that we can learn and grow and expand from that. Whereas before, you know, when I didn't know anything about the law of attraction or positivity, I would have been like, oh, this is crap, this is a really bad day, or why does this have to happen to me, or poor me, and a kind of in that victim mindset kind of thing. And I feel like a lot of people in the world still don't understand any of that, and they're probably still meandering through life not knowing any of this. And so it'd be so great to teach more people about it, and it really will help to create a happier, healthier life for them.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And I totally agree with, you know, people understanding how these day-to-day happenings in their life really, what they really mean. I mean, like you're saying, we're living until I got into this work, I was living unconsciously, you know, and now that I'm conscious, you know, I mean, I'm not perfect, but I'm much more conscious of what I'm doing, that I see, you know, I can see, okay, this happened, but you know what, it's not the end of the world. What came out of that? Something good just came out of that difficult situation or that bad situation. Or, you know, if you didn't get what you wanted in this situation, like the raise in the job, or you lost the job, it's meaning that there's better things for you. This isn't the right path. So the universe is taking it away. It's really a message. I mean, people are going to go, oh yeah, sure. Not so easy to find that job. But really, if you look at it with positivity, as you're saying, then get that message that, okay, there's a next step that's better for me. And so, like, one door shuts, the other opens, you know, these old sayings that are so important to look at because it's true. They're so important, and they're so real, and they're affecting your life. And when you look at it positively, you really open that door so much wider that it's going to come to you quicker. It's almost like you're manifesting this to appear for you now, or the law of attraction is going to bring it to you quicker because you're opening the door for it to come in.
Exactly.
And you're not closing it with the victim going, oh no, it's never going to change. I'm never going to have money. I'm always going to be broke. No, get out of that. You're going to change it, and you're going to keep moving forward and just keep putting one foot in front of the other, because the universe will support you as long as you're taking the action.
Exactly.
And you take so many actions. You're in the momentum. That's action. Yeah. So, when you take action, your world is changing and shifting, and so many glorious things happen. So yeah, it's great to hear that these people are getting those awakenings in your group. And I'm so happy to hear that, because that's what we're doing this for. We're doing this to help people see the reality of what they are really creating. And you are a co-creator of your world. So that's one of the reasons. Yeah. So I know you probably gave me a message in our first show, but I want to know, what's your message now? Because you know how shows go and how time is changing. I mean, I don't know, these astrological happenings in the last couple months has just blown my mind. I mean, the July eclipses and the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse, and the whole idea of changing and purging was huge. And if anyone's still purging, don't feel bad, because it's still happening. And it's all right, because you're in the flow, and let it happen. And if you're not happy in your life, sit down and cry about it, get over it, and go forward. Just mourn it and then let it go. Because if you keep holding on to it, it's not gonna make your life better. Let's put it that way, which is what we're talking about with law of attraction and things. It's similar. Yeah. And so then the lunar eclipse came, which was more changing. And then the Lion's Gate opened up, which brought in this huge energy influx, which is, if you've been clearing, it's propelling you on to move forward in your life. And today something else is happening, and I can't remember what today is all about. I have to look into it.
It's a moon thing, I think, today.
What is it?
I think I don't know if it's a full moon or...
Oh, it could be a full moon, which is another big opportunity maker. And I know right now, if you're in the flow of creating something in your life, this is a perfect time to be starting something new, because Mercury retrograde, I think, ends today, actually. I think it's the 15th.
Oh, yeah.
Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it's today, because it was a long Mercury retrograde. But, Mercury retrogrades are really times of rest. And we look at your life. Where are you? Where are you supposed to be? I mean, people get all freaked out over it if you're into it. I mean, some people don't even know what it is, but it's just about, the planet's backpedaling, and Mercury is making you slow down, look at your life. And I found this such powerful information. I'm getting more and more fascinated with astrology. So not to get off law of attraction, but they're all connected. And you can use different words, because law of attraction is kind of like astrology. I mean, you're attracting things, and there's so much going on in the stars, which I think is very similar when you're looking at your life through one way or the other. And that's what attracts you. That's the one to follow. You've got to follow it. And I think law of attraction is powerful. Yeah. And positivity is absolutely the way to go now, because the instant manifestation is happening.
Yeah.
So what is your message that you feel at this time of the year is going on for you, that you'd like people to know about, that you think in the rest of 2019, what do we got to look forward to? What do you see happening for us? Or what is happening in your world that you see happening? That's a big loaded question, but you can think a minute,
What's happening for everybody? I really don't know.
Well, for you and just in your life, when you look at your life, it's also a reflection of others, because you're mirroring what people around you are wanting in their life. You're the manifestation.
I just think that it's a really exciting time to be alive, but I think any time is an exciting time to be alive. But maybe it just feels even more exciting to me, because so many things are magically, in inverted commas, happening or manifesting, and I just think that there are so many more people waking up, and like I see it. I mean, I told you the other day, I created a group, Positive Minds, on Facebook, literally 10 weeks ago, this Sunday coming. There is like 8 people away from 2,000 in that group already.
Incredible. So there's another group to go into for everybody. Positive Minds on YouTube with Allie Shea.
No, it's on Facebook.
Oh, excuse me. Facebook, wrong one. Yeah. Right. Facebook.
That's all right. Thank you. But just, and so you can just see how many people are, you know, leaning towards positivity and leaning more towards spirituality as well. All of those kinds of things. And it's just amazing. So I feel that, you know, as long as people keep going in that direction of, you know, positivity and spiritualism and, you know, finding themselves and connecting with their inner being, that things are going to be amazing for them too.
And have compassion for yourself a little. It's okay to feel things going on in your life, but then again, mourn it and get through it and go forward. Know that the next step you take is manifesting what's happening. The next good thing happening is going to come to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great way to look at life, you know, because right now it's really, nobody really totally knows what's happening, because every step we take is the creation of our world now, because we've totally changed the dynamics of what we're creating in our planet. So
Yeah,
we're creating it as we go.
exactly.
Yeah, and nobody, you know, what we choose to create, we are the creators of this world we're living in. So if we choose to create this wonderful world, you know, and things will slowly start changing. And even though you can look at the stuff that's going on that isn't great, and there's always going to be some of that right now, because that shows us when things are good that this is how it could be if it wasn't good. So let's stay here. Let's keep moving more to this end of the spectrum. Let's bring the balance shifting over to that end. And more it'll just start, you know, filling up more and more, and it'll expand and start dissolving that away. And that's where those 1,000 years of peace are going to come in. So and that's going to be just our heaven on earth that we're all wanting to create. So I know you have a wonderful gift, and I know, and I can't remember what it is, so I know you're gonna do you remember what your gift is?
I remember the last show. I didn't remember, but I do remember. I do remember. It's €10 gift voucher for any of the programs or workshops on my website.
A gift voucher, absolutely. It's a gift voucher. So there's a link down below. All you wonderful Divine Light listeners, there is a link down below, and you can click on that, and you'll have access to Allie's free gift. And I would love anyone, as I say on the program, that's listening, always write in, tell us how you love the interview, or what you got out of it, or what you would like to hear more of from, you know, Allie or in me. And it's just wonderful when you tune in, and I've gotten so many wonderful emails from the first season, and I try to answer them myself. So I've been doing that, and it's been great. And I really, really feel it's fun to get that personal connection with you all. So please continue that. And Allie, so anything else you'd like to tell us about that you feel is important? I know that was a beautiful message, and we're doing good. We're doing good with everything here. So, you know, I'm going to thank you, Allie, for being this wonderful soul expander that you are. And you're inspiring everyone with the things that you're bringing through these communities of wonderful experts and healers and writers, and, you know, and your retreat was wonderful. We can talk a quick minute about your retreat, because this was your first retreat.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and the people were amazing. And you know, I hosted that with Vivian Carden, who's a spiritual medium. So that was amazing. I'm actually planning another one, actually by myself, though, in maybe February or April of next year here in Ireland as well.
Oh,
yeah.
You go to Ireland, everybody. So if you're ready to go on a trip and meet Allie, who is obviously amazing, and Ireland is absolutely stunning in itself. And she had I mean, the setting you had was an old mansion or something?
Yeah, it was a place called Tranquility House in a place called Carlingford. And Carlingford itself is a really pretty location. But the house that we had was amazing there. You know, it was just fabulous. And we had amazing chefs cook for us. And, you know, it was just, the whole thing was beautiful, and the people were amazing. And we had a wonderful time. As we did in Vegas, by the way. Vegas was also amazing.
You went to Vegas. You got to give us a quick insight. And you did a program with Tony Doyle. I know that.
Yeah, I hosted a Manifesting Miracles workshop with him. I'm only back 3 weeks, so I'm coming down off the high. You know, I'm still down here trying to settle back in home after being with such a group of amazing people. I think there was 30 of us there in total as well, who came to Las Vegas. And, you know, a lot of people, I believe, were saying stuff about, oh, Vegas is Sin City and all this, but it wasn't about that. It was, you know, it was so much more than that. It was about the workshop. It was about people expanding and growing. It was about us all connecting and co-creating together. And it was just amazing. It was truly amazing.
There's a lot of people in the spiritual world that moved to Vegas a while back to connect with the energies there, because there's a lot of good energy there. I'd call it Sparkle City.
Yeah, I love it there. I love Vegas.
Sparkle City. It's fun. Yeah, I was there a couple of years ago. I hadn't been there in quite a while. Yeah, you know, I have fun. I love the shows and stuff. I'm not into the gambling, although it is fun occasionally, but I never seem to win. So I guess I have to try manifesting a little better, huh?
Yeah.
But it's not, you know, I love shows.
Abraham says the casinos were not built on players' money.
Uh-huh. No, they were not. You can see that.
So there you go.
I know. There's something else. So anyway, thank you again, Allie, for being this beautiful soul expander. And we are so grateful for all the unboundless love and generosity you bring to us and humanity, and for your commitment to shifting and raising the consciousness, and to help everyone unlock their passion, ignite their authenticity, and finally create the lives they love, and owning their divine light. So I will see you all on the next episode. And thank you, Allie, so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you too. Wonderful. Continue on with your wonderful work. And I know you will.
Thank you as well.
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.